What happened to Bloomberg's promise to pay for Democratic operatives until November?
He lost. He's a sore loser. That's why.
What he gave you 2 big ring fingers. Like that to you.
You know what happened? This is what happened when you let a Republican run on a Democratic party. And that just shows that we don't really have 2 parties. Just a Republican Party, and then there's Democrats that are Republicans. We just did a D next to them. That's what happened. It's billionaires. They give you all the promise, and then they're like, oh, you know what? Let me just donate the $18 million to Biden campaign instead. And then we'll figure out how I get it back later.
I get it. Yeah, my thing about this real quick is how quiet the media is about this. Like, if this was somebody on the left who promised, hey, I'm going to give all these jobs, all these operatives. Matter of fact, I'm going to give it to whoever is the nominee. So that's actually some tangible assets right there that Biden, well, the way things are going right now, Biden doesn't really need it. But it doesn't hurt to have a whole bunch of people on the ground, a whole bunch of money in all the states, a whole bunch of operatives getting out the vote, especially with COVID going on. And it's just crickets in the media right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but we all knew what his campaign was about, right? Look at when he jumped in. He jumped in when people were afraid that Biden wasn't gonna win the primary, that Bernie was gonna run off with it. So he jumps in with his $1 billion. He only stayed in the campaign for 104 days, spent about $1 billion in 104 days. And then as soon as Obama asked him to leave, he's out. So we all knew that this was just a vanity campaign. This was just a farce to try to keep Bernie from getting the nomination. And so any promises he made during that time, I mean, they're empty, whether it's to his campaign staff or to anyone else. They were just empty to try to ensure that Bernie did not get that nomination.
And let's add the extra impact of those lost jobs. Imagine if you're working on another campaign. I know of many people that were on one campaign and actually went to his campaign for that security. And then now during a global pandemic, during historic job loss in our country, you're going to just having the money to continue paying those people and making the promise and then cutting that off is disgusting. It is America in one microcosm example. If you want to just understand America, look at the Bloomberg campaign. It's something run by billionaires and
good point.
Workers, and you're gonna like what we have, and that's it.
Good point.
Agreed. I mean, I even read a quote from Chuck Rocha how basically, he was stealing, Bloomberg was stealing people even from Bernie's campaign. People are literally saying, I have to leave the campaign because Bloomberg is promising so much money to me, but I'm still going to vote for Bernie. I'm still going to have my whole family vote for Bernie, but I have to do this for my family. And then look at how he just squashes them in the end.
Why you don't vote? It's why you don't vote for Republicans and why you don't trust Republicans.
Let me ask this question. How many of you guys are relieved that Biden is the nominee instead of Bloomberg?
Oh, I'll say it. I'm relieved. Bloomberg is disingenuous throughout. No one's happy about a Biden nomination. Let's be real. Biden was everyone's candidate, but Bloomberg was vicious. I don't believe he ran out of vanity. I believe he ran out of sheer narcissism, believing that he was put by God on this earth to be president, and he paid $1 million to win American Samoa. That's all I got.
To quote our favorite Nina Turner, maybe if Biden is a half bowl of dog, you know what, then Bloomberg is just the same version but from the cat. I don't know. But
I would just say that, the difference between Biden and Bloomberg is just $54 billion. Aside from pick a choice. It's not really that much.
This question specifically that you asked was a sense of relief. I don't feel relief. I feel tremendous anxiety about this election, about the next 4 years, regardless of who's president. Because one, Biden is probably the worst candidate to put against Trump. If it wasn't for the global pandemic, he likely would be losing by a tremendous amount. And not because of his response on the pandemic, but because of his ability to disappear and let Trump just fumble everything. Biden's not out there. Imagine a Biden having to tour the country, having to do multiple speeches per day.
Oh my God.
The limited speeches he had before, the number of gaffes, the number of slipped racism, the number of slipped misogyny, the children's hair sniff. Like if it wasn't for the pandemic and him being able to hide in his basement, he probably would lose to Trump. But even that, I don't even count him out. The Democrats are very good at losing. So I don't count it out that they're able to lose at the last minute and then blame Bernie.